Okay, we're going to talk about I promised you we're going to talk about the art of questions. I always got to go a little bit more, like this is the first time you ever learned how to sell insurance. I really kind of come at it that way. Well, the first time you've ever sold anything, right? And so kind of the laws of sales, there's like different laws of selling that always, laws always work. There may be exceptions to rules, but laws are immutable. Laws always stand the test of time. Like God's laws of success, the law of gravity, it works on you whether you believe in it or not. You jump off your roof, and whether you believe in gravity or not, gravity will work on you. So there's no reason to fight the laws. The laws are the laws. God established them, and that's what works. That's whether you believe in it or not. So with that in mind, the whole art of questioning thing is really based on the fact that people do things for their own best interest. Okay? People are normally selfish. Okay? We were, Garden of Eden, Adam and Eve, man. Adam and Eve's original sin came from the root sin of selfishness. Okay? People only do what is in their own best interest. That's how we were made, and that was the first fall of man, Adam and Eve, all based on selfishness. You can look at it as a bad thing or a good thing. Good way to use that to your advantage is people only do what's in their best interest. So going in to a sale, people are not there for you to make money. People are there to maximize what it is they want, right? And you need to figure out what it is they want, and you can't tell them what they want, okay? Why can't you tell them what they want? Because they don't listen to you. Everything that comes out of your mouth when you're trying to make a recommendation to someone, they have to decide whether or not they should believe you, right? Even your family, when you make a bold statement, they love you, but they got to decide whether or not to believe if what you're saying is true, right? You might say the sky is blue, but in their mind, they have to reconcile, is the sky blue? Yes, in my experience, the sky is blue, right? But if you ask your relative, friend, or whatever, hey Joe, what color is the sky? The sky is blue, right? Do you see how that works? When you ask them the question, is the sky blue? They will answer you. No objection in the world that you have to overcome when it's coming out of their mouth. And it cracks me up how many new people think that by telling them how great the return of premium rider is, or how great IULs are, or tax-free retirement, or how this policy is going to help them bury their loved one, no matter how blue you are in the face, and no matter how it is right for them to do what you're recommending, they still have that element of, should I believe what you said or should I not? But I promise you this, no one objects to anything that comes out of their own mouth. When they make a statement or answer a question, that's not going to shake their tree because it's coming out of their own mouth, right? Now, are they telling the truth or not? I don't know. The only way you can find out is by asking them more questions. Remember, people only do what's in their own best interest, and then people don't object to what's coming out of their own mouth. So the most powerful closing tool in your arsenal is the power of silence. Like, isn't that a most powerful tool? The power of silence? See, when you ask a question, you don't save the client. Have you ever had a conversation with a friend that just never spoke? Like when you're calling them on the phone and you catch up with a friend, hey, Joe, how's it going? It's going good. Or you're calling your college student in college and ask how things are going. Or you talk to your teenager, hey, how things going? Good. And then you feel like, well, what do you mean? So how was school? School's good. And then you always feel compelled because they don't answer to fill dead air with you blabbing your mouth, right? Those people make you feel uncomfortable. So you want to fill the silence with your own words so you can not feel uncomfortable. See, it's the awkward silence that's the best closing tool, because when you ask the client a question and then you shut up and you let them answer the question. Silence is the most powerful closing tool. It's the most powerful way to get people to talk. Your job is not to yammer at them. I don't care if you're staring at them for 5 years. So Joe and Mary, how did you and your wife meet? I don't answer, because the first person to answer loses. It's the ultimate in the ultimate in control, the ultimate in manipulation. I mean, I love doing it, man. I do to my kids, I do to my wife. Okay, check that. She might be watching this. I don't do it to you, honey. It's a big NLP thing, man. Neuro-linguistic programming. That's my thing. That's my whole foundation of my interactions with people. Some people call it an unfair advantage in manipulating people. I don't think it is, because I think people don't end up doing what they don't want to do. NLP, all NLP does is it lights the path for them to do something, and it is kind of manipulation. Okay, so it's manipulation, but if you use it correctly, ethically, you can get people to do what they want to do. You can never get somebody to do what well, with NLP you actually can. I know there's a big debate about it. Anyway, the way we use it ethically is to get people to do what they need to do to take care of their families. The reason why they sent the lead in is in order for them to take care of their families, and that's what they want. And so we ask questions, we manipulate the conversation to get them to do what they need to do to take care of their families. They sent the lead in, they love their families. We are going to get them to do what they're supposed to do to take care of their families, okay? And we do it by asking questions. Now, if you want to say that's manipulation, okay, well then call me the master manipulator, because that's what I do, okay? And that's the power you have by asking questions, all right? So, don't worry about the ethical thing. Know that we're doing the right thing, okay? I don't want to have to justify any of that crap to you, please. Anyway, NLP is powerful. Okay, so you're in control when you ask questions. You're in total control, man. And when you lose control and they're asking you questions, then you lost control. You totally lost control. Now, there's a way to get them to ask questions. There's a way to manipulate people to ask questions so that you can guide them down the road. But anyway, so I'm going to teach you a couple of questioning techniques. This may be a little bit, I don't know. Man, I'm gonna give up all my secrets, man, to manipulation. It's funny. Okay, so how do you maintain, when is the first interaction with the client to maintain this element of control? Well, on the phone, Like there are different, there's a gazillion different phone scripts out there, okay? And there are phone scripts where you steamroll people into the appointment. Like you talk, blah, 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 we got your lead, I need to see you. I gotta drop this information off to you 15, 20 minutes. I'll be there tomorrow between 4 and 5 p.m. Is there any reason why you wouldn't be there? So the first question, is there any reason why you wouldn't be there? You steamrolled them, and then, okay, great. Well, I don't know, I think. Well, okay, great, I'll be there. I have your addresses, 123 Anywhere Street. Is that correct? Again, you know, it's asking questions, but you're steamrolling them. Okay, my style is more being in control. I want to control the conversation by asking them questions. I want to establish my credibility. So one of the ways I establish credibility is confirming the data on the lead. Okay, so one of my first questions is, hey, Joe, I have to confirm this information on the form that we have here. Now, you wrote down on this form that you're 5'11", 195 pounds. Is that right? Now, shut the heck up. Yeah, that's correct. All right, now you wrote down here for Mary. Now, I presume Mary, she's your significant other. I don't ever say, are you married to Mary? Are you, they could be all kinds of, shacking up situation. They could be married. It could be a father-daughter living in the same house. I don't presume anything on the second person, okay? So I have Mary's here. She's 5'3", 105 pounds. Is that correct? When they keep answering my questions, I am in total control, man. I am the czar of booking the appointment because they're answering my questions. Okay, but Alice, what if they ask you a question? Well, they ask me a question. They're trying to take control from me. Okay, so, well, what is this about? Oh, okay, I'll answer the question. This is that form you sent out. I'll make a statement. This is that form you sent us. You put your personal information on it, and you were looking to protect your home in the event of death. That's what concerns you, right? Making sure the house was paid off if you died for your family. Do you notice how I answered the question, but I moved on and asked another question? Well, yeah, that's what we're looking to do. Yeah, that's the form. I'm just verifying this information. Now, I show you that you're a tobacco user. Is that correct? Yes. What type of tobacco? Is that cigar smoke, cigar, pipe, or cigarettes? And that actually is an actual question because we need to know that for Forrester Strong Foundation considers only cigarette smoking as tobacco, a cigarette and vaping, okay? Do you see how I'm asking questions and they're answering? Now I show your address here is 123 Anywhere Street, Dayton, Ohio. Is that the correct address? Now, why do you ask that question? Because there could be a rental property that they sent the thing in for. They actually live in another address. So yes, I am confirming information so I don't go to the wrong place, which I've done, maybe 3 times until I figure it out. Oh, I better confirm the address, right? But Alex, you're just like being on the phone a long time with them. My job is to book the appointment. Okay, I'm not trying to set records on how fast I can book a solid appointment. Do you know that people actually count appointments as appointments where they steamroll someone into an appointment? They barely said anything, and they hang up the phone, they do a hallelujah breakdown, and, oh, I booked an appointment, only to discover that they get no-showed. Their no-show rate's like 60%. Your no-show reschedule rate should be right around 20-25%. Anything more than that, then you're messing up. You're not taking control of the conversation, okay? Those are questions, you're asking for directions how to get through their house. Strong tie down, right? Because they're visualizing you coming over to their house. Do you see how asking questions on the phone makes that appointment more solid? Now, if you're calling old leads, You've got to ask questions because the longer you're on the phone with them, the higher percentage chance your percentages go up. You know how, in football, either college or NFL football, if you're on, okay, man, I'm telling secrets on myself. But you know how the percentage chance of winning, or even NBA, on the ESPN app on your phone, gosh, I'll be crucified for, okay. They have the percentage chance of the team winning. And if it's a close game, you'll see the percentage chance between the two teams moving close to each other as they move up towards 100%, right? But if someone's got a 20-point lead, you can see that team's percentage chance of winning goes way high and the other person's way low, right? The percentage chance of you winning happens the longer you can keep someone on the phone asking questions. All right, so that's the ultimate in handling objections, is asking them questions so they can answer them. If they're answering your questions, they're engaged. That means that there's something in there you're trying to dive into. What is that? Why did that person send that lead in? You're trying to dive in. You're trying to find out. So well, I don't remember sending it in. Yeah, Joe. Okay, the classic answering objection model that's always worked for me is the softening statement and then a question. Okay, so I don't remember sending it in. All right, Joe, that's okay. Most of our clients, they don't remember sending in. But remember, you got a bunch of paperwork during your closing. Question, right? Remember, you got a bunch of paperwork during your closing. Oh yeah, there's a lot of paperwork. You could hardly remember what was thrown at you. Okay. Well, somewhere in that paperwork or the paperwork that came later for your mortgage was this form related to mortgage protection life insurance, where when you die, your home will be paid off for your loved ones. Now, you put a lot of personal information on here, and I'm just right now trying to verify the information. So I have your height and weight is 5'11", 195. Is that correct? Okay, you're going back into softening statement, asking a question. Softening statement, asking a question. Right, here's another question. Well, does your wife fill out stuff without you knowing about it? If there's no one on the form, my natural question is, now, I only show you on the form. Do you have a significant other that's also involved with household expenses and helping you pay the mortgage? Oh yeah, well, I have my wife. Oh, okay, well, I didn't think she could go on there because her mortgage is not in her name. Oh yeah, a lot of people think that. Let me get her information. So what is her name? What is her height and weight? Is she a smoker? See, boom, now you know who the beneficiary is. If they say, well, there's no one else on the mortgage, and okay, so who's the loved one you're trying to take care of? That's a mega pre-closing question. Who's the loved one you're trying to take care of? Well, my kids. I want to make sure that they get the house when I die. Oh, okay. Do your children live with you? No, they all live on their own. Okay, they live in the area. Yeah, two of my sons are in the area. My daughter lives in Washington State. Oh, wow. How'd she get that far? Oh, she found a job, and y'all already are doing bond and rapport. Okay? Bond and rapport doesn't have to happen at the appointment. Some of my best appointments happen because I set it up on the phone call where I got a little cool bond and rapport going on with the person. Okay? And you gauge it because if they're talkative and they just love, man, I'm in there, baby. I am in there. And they think I'm the cool guy because I'm interested in their kids. Yeah, I got a daughter going to college in Baltimore. Man, it's just so far away. So Washington's pretty far away from you. Yeah, you ever see them? You ever get a chance to see them? Yeah, she'll come back for Christmas, and oh, that's good. Man, I'm not the sales guy anymore. I'm not a telemarketer. Do you see how I'm not a telemarketer anymore? I'm not a telemarketer. I'm like this cool guy that cares about people. You know, I'll put on my my jazz DJ voice. Soft and warm, the quiet storm. KBLX. Okay, this is San Francisco Bay Area. KBLX. What a great station. Smooth jazz. Soft and warm. Anyway, I go into my nice, cool DJ voice, and they think I'm the coolest guy in the world because I get, now this is my Filipino teaching voice, okay? But I mirror and match them on the phone. Okay, I didn't mean for this to be a teaching on how to book an appointment, but it's the idea of asking questions. The more you ask questions, the more you're in control, the more chance you have of booking that appointment. One of the most important, if you're running into situations on the phone, is, well, let me ask you, when you fill this out, what was on your mind? No, well, we already took care of it. Oh, really? You took care of it? That's a question. Oh, really? Softening statement. You took care of it? Well, yeah, someone came over and blah, 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 and we don't need it anymore. Oh, okay, I'm a little concerned. Softening statement. Did you have to do any medical exam when they did it? Well, no, we don't have to do any kind of medical. Oh, man. There's a lot of that going around right now. Do you like paying like 50% more for your monthly rates? What do you mean? Well, there's a lot of that going around right now where people are just selling policies where there's no blood and urine test, and then they can charge you whatever they want to charge you. And sometimes you're paying way more than you ought to. I don't know if you like saving several thousand, tens of thousands of dollars on your insurance or not, but I have 15 different carriers, and we can show you options where I think we probably maybe do way better than those policies. But yeah, I've heard about those going around right now. Oh, man. So they called you? When did they call you? Question. Oh, so when did you sit down with them? Question. What company was it? Question. Did you get your policy yet? Question. Right? And every time they answer the question, your percentage chance of booking the appointment starts creeping up, creeping up, creeping up. But Alex, don't we sell simplified issue term? Yes, we do, unless the person that got there before you sold the same policy. I'm trying to get in there. My job is to book an appointment with them. My job is not to justify why that other person sold them full simplified issue term, which is what we sell. My job is to go in there. If I can get them a better deal by going through a blood and urine test after evaluating their health, right? I mean, I'm going in there being a good underwriter, right? But you know what? There are better policies than term policies. Remember, we've been talking about that with universal life and index universal life, where they get money that grows in their cash value that will surpass what they put in. So who am I to say that simplified issue term is the best product for them? I don't know until I go in there, and so I'm going to evaluate it, and I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do. Well, you're just manipulating the client to book an appointment. Yes, I am. Because I'm a winner, and I'm trying to win, and when I go in there, I know what's in my heart. My heart is to give them the best policy for them, okay? That's my job. And when I go in there, I will do the right thing for them. If their policy is the best thing for them, hey, hands off. But you know what? John Mary, let me ask you, do you have an emergency contact list already developed for your policy? Because I promise you that other agent did not put an emergency contact list together. Do you see how these appointments can turn into a goldmine of opportunity if you can just get over yourself, right, and ask questions, right? Have the boldness, the thimbleful of boldness to ask another question, another question, another question, another question. Now, look, it doesn't always work, but what it will work, when it will work, is when you find the right person on an old lead, and there are right people out there, okay? There are right people out there that you can get a hold of, okay? So, anyway. So that's a phone call. Does anyone have any questions on the power and control of manipulating the conversation by asking questions on the phone call? I mean, it's a Jedi mind trick. I mean, you really got to get into NLP. Well, I'm not going to say that. You can get into it way too deep. But if you really want to master the art of let me do a better word, instead of manipulating, influencing other people. If you want to be powerful at influencing other people for good, other people use it for bad. Okay, so granted, the tool, this technique is so powerful, people use it for bad stuff. Okay, snake guys out there use it to pick up chicks in bars. Yeah, I mean, it's very manipulating tool that you can use, but we choose to use it for good. You know, we got the force within us, okay? Not the dark side of the force, but the light side of the force. I'm sorry, man. I'm using all these analogies. I'm trying to just hope you understand how powerful this technique is, right? And influencing people that you care about. Like my children. Oh, they hate it when I ask them questions. I'll go into examples, all right? So how do you manipulate the conversation and influence people in the home by asking questions? The bottom rapport is the obvious part, right? When you walk in and you're wiping your shoes off on their mat, right? Because you're showing them that you respect their house. I don't care if the house is run down. I don't care if it's a freaking trailer. If they have a mat in front of their doorstep, I'm going to use it to show that I respect their home. Okay? It's their home, man. Don't be judgmental. I'll walk in. I'm Alex. Are you George? The first thing I say, one of the first things I say is, are you George? A question. Oh, yeah, I'm George, and this must be Mary. Hey, Mary, I'm Alex. How y'all doing? Question. All right, and I'm taking my shoes off. They say, oh, you don't have to do that. Oh, I'm sorry. My mama taught me to take my shoes off in every home I go into. So I kick my shoes off, right? I'm scoring points. In fact, I go back. You know where I learned all this? I learned all this when I was dating girls when I was in high school. I knew the key to a woman's heart or a girl's heart was being nice to her parents. If their parents loved me, man, the girl would love me. I always kind of thought that. I was always the master at being the polite kid that all my girlfriends wanted to take me home to meet their parents. Because I was always an expert in getting the mother to like me. Like the key is getting the mom to like you and the father to know that you're not trying to, you know what I mean, right? And I always charmed them, man. I was a charmer, big time. And that's where I get all this from, is by asking questions. I would ask the father, so I call him sir. So, sir, this is a beautiful home. How long have y'all lived here? I'd ask the mother, that's a beautiful garden out there. Did you do all that work yourself? Did you hire a gardener? Yeah, you might say I did it to kiss butt, but yeah, I did it to kiss butt. But they always fell in love with me. So I kind of took that into the rest of my life, is how do I get clients to like me? Is I ask them questions about their house. I don't say, like if I see a big Dale Earnhardt flag with his picture painted on a black flag, number 3, I'll look up at that and say, oh, you must like NASCAR. I don't have to be a fan of NASCAR. I don't have nothing of NASCAR, but I know enough to know that's Dale Earnhardt. Oh, so you're a big Dale Earnhardt fan. Oh man, Dale Earnhardt. And they start rocking on Dale Earnhardt, and I'm just smelling going, wow, that's pretty cool, man. Wow, that's great. You went to that race? Oh man, that must have been devastating when he got killed Oh yeah, that was a really sad day, man. I am asking questions. I'm not telling them, oh, I'm the greatest NASCAR fan in the world. Did you see the last NASCAR race? So-and-so did this. And they don't want to hear me. People love talking about themselves. Remember, people only do what's in their best interest, and people love talking about themselves. So in bond rapport, I'm prompting them with questions about them because I'm interested in them. Do you know how many people are lonely and don't have anyone who's interested in them? That's where people always thought that was the best conversationalist. I can go to a party and I would just ask people about them. And I didn't have to say anything about me, zero about me. But I get them talking about themselves, and I'm sitting there going, wow, that's pretty awesome. I am so into them telling me their story, and I really am. See, that's the thing. I'm naturally curious. And the power of asking questions comes out of a natural curiosity about everything. I don't leave any stone unturned when I talk to somebody because things interest me. You might say that I can be an investigator. I am kind of because, oh, wow, that's interesting. You went to Dartmouth? Gosh, that's like a mega Ivy League school, huh? Oh, yeah, it is. What'd you major in there? English? Oh, wow, English. Did you want to be an English teacher? No, it was just a major I really enjoyed. Oh, man, so you're like in all the literature. Like, what was your expertise in? American literature? French literature? What was your thing? Oh man, American literature. What period? Oh, I was all into Jane Austen, and I don't know that stuff. I'm just curious. You don't got to know nothing, but you just got to ask questions. I'm always, because I'm interested. So bond rapport is all about asking them questions. One of the chief questions you can ask in bond rapport is, so tell me, how did you two meet? Tell me the story about how you two met each other. That is an awesome question because they could have been fighting before you came over. Take me back, Joe and Mary, to when you first met. Okay, mega NLP technique. It's a little bit of timeline therapy, a little bit. Take me back to when you first met each other. Tell me the story. What happened? And I shut the heck up. And I'm just smiling. I'm mirror matching them. I'm crossing my legs and okay. And then they could be mad, but then I met her at this party and I could tell that she was checking me out. And so I thought, hey, I might as well give her a few crumbs of my personality and go over there and talk to her because I could tell that she wanted to talk to me. That is not how it went down. He came up to me because I was hot that night. I was wearing this blah, 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 and my hair was you know what I mean? And they start laughing, and they just you created this juju. It's a mega NLP technique, because when they start talking about that situation, it's like they go back there, and then all those feelings come back of what first attracted them to each other. They forget about the fight they had, about the dog pooping on the carpet, and then they're talking about when they first met each other. Then all of a sudden the mood lightens up, and they're just all this good juju is going on, right? Other great questions. So Joe, tell me what it's like when she introduced you to the parents. I mean, all those just rich with stuff, So how did he propose to you, Mary? I mean, all this good juju. So many good things come out of it. And what's cool about it is I'm just fascinated. I love those stories. I laugh along with them, and it's just a cool thing. It's a cool thing to kind of get them to remember why they loved each other. And that's all I'm trying to do, is get them to remember why they loved each other and why we're sitting down talking about life insurance. I love doing that. I love getting to know them. And they think I'm like the best conversationalist. Actually, they'll think I'm their marriage counselor, because I kind of instantly reminded them why they love each other. Sometimes, don't you need to remember why you love your spouse? Yes, you do. I do. I always do. If you're mad at your spouse, the best question is, what are the things I love about my wife? If you're ever mad at them, find out, what are the top 5 things I love about her? What are the top 5 things I love about him? I promise you, man, whatever squabble, whatever crap, it goes away. And that's what you're tapping into in asking questions in the bond and rapport. Oh man, I'm going long. I'm just going to keep going. Okay, bond and rapport. Here's another powerful technique. It is kind of an NLP thing. Hey, I'm just parched. Can I get a glass of water from you, please? Powerful question. Why? Because you put yourself in a position of being their guest in their home. You put them in a position to serve you with a glass of water, right? It is awesome. When you ask them, can I have a glass of water? They are giving, then you put the situation in a really cool vibe because all of a sudden you're the guest, not the salesperson. Give you a glass of water. Is there anything? I have Coke, I have beer, I have, man, I'd love to have a beer right now, but I don't drink on the job. Okay. Man, but the other thing about that is when they ask you, well, we just got done with a pot of coffee. Can I pour you a cup? Absolutely. Never refuse anything that's offered to you. Well, we just got through a dinner. I have this little dish of kimchi. Would you like some? Absolutely, I'd love some. Like, never refuse anything. You don't have to eat it, but always take it, right? Always take, because you're going to put a situation like, no, that's okay. Well, then you've already put this negative cloud over refusing something they offered you. They're trying to be nice. I always accept kindness and gifts. Remember, you're the guest. What a great thing when they say, would you like, fried chicken? Absolutely. Yes. Especially with Southern fried and lard. Man, that's the best fried chicken. I mean, that doesn't happen all the time, but you get my drift. Like always, now there's certain, it's like, hey, you want to take a toke on my bong? No, sorry, I got to stay sharp on this appointment. Okay, come on. Like within reason. Hey, do you want a line of cocaine? It's like, no, I got to stay sharp for this. Oh, God. My point being, just always accept stuff. Getting back to asking questions. Oh, controlling the environment. Again, controlling the environment by asking questions. Hey, Joe and Mary, man, I love Fox News. Or I love MSNBC. But is it okay if we shut that off so we can get this, so this meeting can happen quick? Because I'm sure you don't want me in your house like for 3 hours, right? Remember, in their best interest, I'm posing a question to show why it's in their best interest to shut the TV off, right? I'm already their guest. I asked for water. They offered me kimchi. I said yes. They gave me water. I'm their guest. So, hey, do you mind if we just shut this? So we're done here quickly. You don't want me here for 3 hours, do you? Question. You don't want me 3 hours? No, okay. Can we, okay, great. Hey, I love your dogs, man. I love dogs. By the way, I've petted the dog like crazy because I do love dogs. It's like, you know what? It's okay if we can put the pooch out in the room, another room, so we can just get through this quick. All right. Another way to control the environment. All right, pain finding questions. One of the first questions to start the pain finding process, and this is after the About Me slide, I found a little bit about them. Then I go into the pain finding process, which is, so Joe and Mary, take me back to when you first filled this form out. So you did the take me back, because remember, another great question is, so what is your song? What was the song they played at your wedding that was your first dance song? That's a great question, by the way. Think about that song. Everyone has their song, So why did you choose that song? Well, it was our first date, and the band was playing, the band dinner, they were playing at dinner, whatever. First time we kissed, that song was playing on the radio. I don't know. My song, I have certain songs with different girlfriends. You tell me the girlfriend, I'll tell you what song was our song. Oh man, that's so bad. But okay, getting back to bond and rapport pain finding. So take me back. when you first filled this out, were you like here in the kitchen? Were you like filling it out on the counter? Why do I ask that question? Because I want them to take the time to go back in time to put their mind in the same mindset as when they filled it out. Because one of the most urgent urges to fill out and put all this information was when they first saw the form, said, hark, I need to fill this out. I want to take them back to that point in time. I don't want to take them to, we don't need this, when they were thinking we don't need this. I want to take them back to when they needed it, when they wanted it. So take me back to when you filled it out. Do you remember where you were? Was it here? Was it on the counter? Oh, I don't know. I think it was on dining room table. Oh, great. So tell me what was on your mind when you filled this out. Mary, was it you that filled it out or Joe? Now, it's obvious that Mary filled it out, or maybe it's not obvious. Maybe it has Joe's signature, but it's all flowery, like, curvy, like a woman would write it. And so I always ask, so who filled this out? Was it you, Mary? Was it you, Joe? No. It was my wife. Oh, okay. So Mary, let me ask you, what was on your mind when you first filled this form out? Alex, you're asking a lot of questions. Yes. The idea is to maintain control, man. I am in control of the selling situation because I'm asking questions. I'm a control freak anyway, right? I am in control. I'm not letting them be in control because when they're in control, it leads to a think about it. You follow their sales system, it leads to, oh, that's nice. You gave us all your rates. You gave us all the information. Now we're going to shop you against everyone else out there. We're going to think about it. We're going to blah, 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 blah. So you become a glorified shell answer man or woman that got paid nothing. You are an unpaid consultant in that appointment. How many of you all want to be an unpaid freaking consultant, giving away all your pricing? This is a great Sandler sales thing. It's like spilling your candy in the lobby. Why do that? You're wasting your time. If you don't understand how to do this properly, you're going to be wasting your time. You're going to quit. You're going to fail. You're going to quit. So you need to really be so freaking anal about maintaining control. If you're not in control, then, oh my gosh, the inmates are running the asylum. Man, clients don't need to be in control. You're the professional. You got your dadgum license. You're the one that needs to be in control, not them. They know nothing about life insurance. But Alex, I just got my license. Oh my gosh, dude. You went through 20-hour credit hours of learning to pass the test. Unless they have a license, you're the qualified one. So you're the one that should be the doctor, not them. And doctors ask questions. So tell me where it hurts. How long has it been hurting? What was the other symptoms? I don't know, So you're the doctor. So take me back to when you first filled this out. What was on your mind? That starts everything off, man. Oh, wow, so you wanted to, they might say, well, we just want to find prices. Oh man, I can give you 1,000 prices with 15 different insurance companies. But let me ask a more specific question. What did you want this policy to do for you and George? Powerful question. And I shut the heck up and I let them talk. What did you want this policy to do for you and George? I got a smile on my face. I'm nice. I'm laid back. And I don't care if I'm staring at them for 5 minutes. He who answers first loses. And I ain't losing this game, baby. And I don't care if you're dumb about insurance. You're smart when you ask the questions and let them talk. Here's a problem sometimes. Some new people, they don't know anything else but to ask questions. And all of a sudden they're closing sales. But then when they start getting smart about insurance underwriting, all of a sudden they're telling the client everything. It's like this, they got to go back to being dumb. See, the smarter you get, you're not trying to tell the client how smart you are, telling them all you know about Index Universal Life and telling them everything you know about everything, because they don't care about you, they care about them. It's funny when people do that, is they're thinking like they have to gain credibility with the client because they're so smart. It's like they're not buying your smartness. What they're buying is their confidence that you care enough about them that you're going to recommend the right thing for them. And the way they know you care is when you're asking questions, because you're seeking first to understand. That's really what this comes down to, is seeking first to understand that other person. In all my life, my best friendships and relationships started out by me seeking first to understand them, their situation, what they're looking for, their needs, wants, and desires. And then my job is to figure out how to help them get that. And all my life, when I've been able to figure out that, then I can manipulate them to do what they need to do to get that. In fact, it's not manipulation. I pave the way for them. I'm the guy in the jungle with a machete, and I carve out the path for them, and I say, okay, is this where you'd like to go? Carve it out again. Is this where you'd like to go? Again, asking questions, and they're following me because I'm asking questions, leading them down the path through the jungle of what will help them get what it is they want. And the only way you can do that, again, is asking questions. So take me back when you first filled out, what was on your mind? We were just looking for prices. Oh, yeah, I've got a bunch of prices, but tell me, what did you want this program to do for you and your family? Well, we want to make sure that, when I died, that the house is paid off. Or we want to make sure that, when I die, that they're not going to have to pass the hat to the other family members to help pay for it. Oh, wow. Now okay, my investigative mind starts churning. It's like, that's interesting, he should say that. In my mind, I'm going, well, that's interesting. He doesn't want his wife to go and, so what's the natural question? Wow, that's interesting you say that. Have you ever been in a situation where you had to chip in on someone's funeral? Oh my gosh, man. Alex, just last week, just last month, just last year. They will tell you their story. You just lit the fuse on their pain. Man, my sister, we had to chip in on my sister's funeral, and it was like, I hated doing that. Oh wow, hate's a strong word. What do you mean by hate? Do you see how I try to just really dig by asking more questions? So, wow. So was it an expensive funeral? Oh my gosh. Like, we tried to get the cheapest funeral, and it was like $10,000, and I had to pony up like a couple thousand. Oh, wow. $2,000? I mean, did you have $2,000 laying around to contribute? Do you see? I'm asking questions because I want them to get to their selfish nature of why they are sitting down with me. Oh, God. Who has $2,000 lying around? I had to put half of it on a credit card. Oh. Really? Do you see? Oh man, you are the marionette. You are the puppet master playing with the marionette, man. And it is fun. It is fun. This is the fun part. Man, it's just getting to their base desires. I love it. So Mary, how did that make you feel for him having to pay for his sister's? Like, did you have to do that for any of your family members? Oh, no. My family, they were very responsible. They had life insurance. You know that this is probably what they were fighting before. Oh, wow, they had life insurance? So tell me what happened. Like, did you have a recent family member pass away that had life insurance? Oh, yeah, my grandmother died last year. And she had this $50,000 policy, and man, it was like this most beautiful funeral. And the kids, my dad and mom, they were able to do some really nice things, whatever. You know what I mean? You got the good story and the bad story of insurance. Every insurance question about someone who's died is either a good story or a bad story, but each story will help further cement your opportunity to help them out, right? Those questions are powerful questions because you get to the base desire of what they're trying to accomplish. It goes from this logical reason of pricing to the most basic instinct of wanting to protect my own financial situation. I don't want my kids paying for it. Oh, I love doing that. That's a great question, by the way. So here's the other side of that coin is, so this mega powerful question, write this down. So if we didn't take care of this today, Joe, and you died of a heart attack tomorrow, are your kids going to have to help chip in for this funeral? And I shut the trap door. I shut my mouth. I shut the pie hole. I stopped eating the kimchi they offered me. And I am waiting for them to answer that question. And the wife will say, oh no, my children aren't paying for this funeral. Then I kind of know who's running the show here. So then she makes a statement like that. Oh, well, what do you mean by that, Mary? It's an obvious question, but I want her to tell me. I want it to come out of her mouth. Oh, no, no, no. We're not going to let our kids pay for this. What do you mean by that? We raised our kids to be independent, and the last thing I want them to do is pay for any of our funerals. We need this protection because we don't want them to have to do anything for us for that. Wow. That's a pretty strong statement. I can ask 10 more questions to just drill. But if you're not willing to go that deep and that far, and here's the thing, let me tell you why the stuff you did in bond and rapport, asking questions to build it, leads you to doing the pain finding process correctly. To be able to ask 20 questions to get to the deep emotional need, why they need to do this, right, is you just establish a strong bond and rapport. So if there's any time that you take, I don't care if your appointment's 3 hours, 2 hours better be in bond and rapport and pain finding. Okay, I mean, most of your time ought to be, and you need to not rush through it. You need to just soak it, just get into it, just ask questions, get into it with them, and get into the pain, and just get into it. And then it's done. It's all over with the shouting. I don't care how expensive. In their mind, they were thinking their budget was $50 a month, but when you get into that pain process and what they don't want to have happen and what they want to have happen, their budget just went up from 50 to 250. You know what I mean? Like, you made the pain so real by asking them questions that, man, it's whatever. I'm getting this done now. Let's do this. Boom. Okay? Always ask the curious question. If a question comes up in your mind, why they said something, I always ask it. Never leave anything unasked. Never leave an elephant in the room. Always, if it comes up in your head, I know that anything that comes up in your head is like, why did they say that? Like, you might get clients like, let's say, so, how soon can I get this approved? That's a great question. Why? That's a great question. Why are you concerned about how fast it will get approved? Well, you know, we just really want to get this done right away. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, when you fill out the application, you're conditionally covered. But what is, like, you know, the underwriting could take a week, whatever, but you're conditionally covered. You know, what else is going on? You know, I mean, there are things that the client will say that gives you an indication that maybe they filled out another application before you. They'll start asking smart insurance questions. Like, are they going to, you know, check motor vehicle history? Now, the stupid agent would say, oh, yeah, I think so. Okay, so what medications are you taking? They totally gloss over. In their minds, they should be thinking, red flag, red flag, red flag. They ask about motor vehicle, red flag, red flag. So the next thing out of your mouth ought to be the curiosity question. Well, that's a great question. Yeah, they check motor vehicle records for the last 5 years. Let me ask you, what motor vehicle situation have you been in the last 5 years? When they ask that question, assume that they had one. I don't say, so have you had any motor vehicle situations last 5 years? 5 years? I go, what motor vehicle situations have you had in the last 5 years? Right? Like, the most obvious questions, I want to know. I don't let anything go. I don't let any elephant stay in the room. I'm asking every question that comes to mind. You know, they'll ask a super smart question about insurance, and I'm going to ask them, wow, it sounds like you know a lot about insurance. Have you applied for other insurance policies lately? Well, yeah, we kind of did. Oh, kinda? What do you mean, kinda? Well, we did. We had, you know, we applied for 3 other applications, you know, in the last 6 months. Oh, wow, that's interesting. So what do you think the next question should be? Okay, what's your medications? Okay, I got your height and weight. No! Your next question would be, oh, well, why did you need to apply 3 different times? Had you had any of those get issued? What were the problem with those companies? What were the situation? What was it about your health that caused you not to get those policies issued? It's like, man, don't go down the same road. Clients are dumb. They don't know that all that stuff is being tracked, right? So you got to ask, man, ask the smart, or not smart, ask the obvious questions. Always drill down to anything that might, you know, your spider sense, okay, Spider-Man, your spider sense should be tingling. Then you need to be asking more questions because there's something funny going on. It cracks me up when agents gloss over it because they're so fired up about writing an application. And they automatically think it's going to go through when I know in my heart of hearts, it's like, yeah. Let me ask you, Judge, did you ask him this question? Did you ask him that question? What were you thinking when you filled this out, dude? Seriously? There's no way this is going to get approved. Why did you? I'll ask you, start asking you the questions that you should have asked in the appointment. Okay, not to make you feel bad. Well, yeah, kind of make you feel bad because you messed up. But you learn by messing up, okay? So I'm not going to make you feel bad that you want to quit, but I'll make you feel like you should ask more questions, and that's what I'm trying to do, is get you to do what I'm trying to teach you to do. Oh my gosh, it's way too long. I've got like, okay, let me continue. The upfront contract is a question, okay? What do you mean, Alex? The upfront contract is a question. After the pain process, once you find out what their pain is, and you drilled and dug and dug and dug, and then you got that pain where it's just, right? The thermometer's off the charts as far as them wanting to take care of this. You say that the ultimate transition question, Joe and Mary, George and, what did I say, George and Mary? I used to see Joe and Mary. Joe and Mary, that's why I'm here. Jose and Maria, that's why I'm here. I'm going to help make sure that does not happen to you. I'm going to make sure that you are never going to have to worry about your kids paying for your funeral. I'm going to make sure, and I restate the pain that you're trying to solve. That's why I'm here. I'm going to help you fill in the pain. Let me tell you what happens next. So if there's any telling going on, it's telling them what's going to happen next, followed by a question. So let me tell you what happens next so that this doesn't ever happen to you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you some very specific health questions. All right, and those health questions will lead me to the right product that will take care of you. Okay, and I may have to consult my my chief underwriter, my chief underwriter, to make sure we're on the right track. Okay, and then once we figure out what the right approach is, I'm going to show you 3 different premium options. We're going to find that option that you can afford that will fit your budget to take care of that situation. And then what we're going to do is we're going to apply for it by filling out a request for coverage form. And then we're going to send it in to the insurance carrier. Now, there's nothing to think about here yet because the insurance carrier has to think about you. So tonight, this afternoon, today is not a think about it decision. There's nothing to think about, okay? Because the insurance company has to think about you first. And when they think about you and they underwrite this, could take a week, okay? Could take a few days. They're going to come back with whether or not you get approved or declined. When you're approved, they're going to put the policy together and they're going to send it back to you in the mail. And I'm going to come over when you receive it, and then I'm going to sit down with you to make sure it's got everything in it that you're looking for, and to make sure that it's everything you need it to be. And at that point, that's when you get to think about it. Because you're going to think about, am I satisfied with the amount of coverage? Do I need more coverage? Do I need less? We'll be able to manipulate that once we know that the insurance industry thinks your health is good enough to be approved for the product. So there's nothing to think about until we deliver the policy to you. In which case then we can change it however you want, but at least we know that it's approved and you're taken care of. Now, during all this underwriting process, you're conditionally covered, so should you die, the insurance company will pay the benefit to your spouse. So you've got that safety. So when I walk out of here with all this taken care of, when it's done, you can go to bed tonight knowing that your wife and your children, that your family is taken care of. Okay? Now, should you be declined for whatever reason, they may find something in your past that you didn't disclose on the application. Okay, I'm planting seeds. Something, medication you didn't disclose, or a condition you didn't disclose on the application, or whatever, then they're going to decline it, in which case I'll come back and then I'll offer you another 1 or 2 products that we have that could cover your situation now that we know what your health really is like. Okay. Now, there's all this all this subcontext. Okay, we call it an acting subcontext. All the subcontext of what you just said is, don't lie your ass off to me, because you're not going to get the freaking coverage. Okay, so you better fess up and be honest. You're not saying it. This is going on in your head. Okay, but it's the subcontext of what you're saying is, don't lie, then I can help you. Okay, I'll come back and then we'll present you some other opportunities, some other options for you. All right, now here's the closing question. Does all this sound good to you, Joe and Mary? And then I shut up. I shut my pie hole and I let them answer the question. And I sit there and I look at them. I'm smiling. I'm pulling out the application. I'm pulling it up on my iPad or on my computer. I am starting the application process. And it's like, okay, it's like circle the one, like I wrote the premiums down, circle the one that best fits your needs and budget. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Does that sound good to you, Joe and Mary? And I'm pulling all the stuff out, getting ready to write the app. And then I'm waiting for them to say yes. Yes. Sounds great. Awesome. Well, we're just looking for pricing. Oh, that's interesting. I'm confused. I thought you wanted to pain, what their pain was. You didn't want your kids to have to pay for your funeral. I'm confused. I must have not interpreted it right. What was the issue? Did I say something that you didn't like? Question again, did I say something you didn't like? Well, we just, we want to make sure it fits in our budget. Absolutely. That's why I'm here. I'm going to make sure that it fits in your budget. We're not going to submit anything that won't fit in your budget. My job, and I've been successful at that, is finding the right premium amount that you can comfortably afford every month so that your kids don't ever have to pay for your funeral. They don't have to pass a hat. They don't have to do a GoFundMe page, whatever their pain is, right? That's all we're doing here. We're going to see if you qualify, and then I'm going to come back when the policy gets delivered to you, and then we'll dig into it then. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that sounds good. Okay, you're comfortable with it, right? When they say it sounds good, I'd say, well, you're comfortable with this, right? This process, this sounds good to you? Yeah. When they say yes, I want to make sure they say yes. I'll ask Mary, does that sound good to you too? I want to get a confirmation, because if they say, well, no, I don't think we're going to do that. Oh, really? Huh. I'm confused. Softening statement. What did I say to make you mad? Softening statement, reverse. It's called reversing. Oh, huh. What did I say to make you mad? I don't understand. Help me understand. Well, we blah, 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 blah. Okay. But I thought you really wanted to make sure that blah, 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 blah. Huh. Okay, I messed up. I must have been picking up the wrong signals. It must have been me. I apologize. Hey, listen, when you are serious about taking care of your family because of those things we mentioned, Here's my call. Here's my card. Give me a call. And I'm folding up shop, baby. I'm not showing them rates. Why show them rates if they're not serious about taking care of their families? You're stupid if you show them rates after they don't agree to the upfront contract. You're like stupid. Stupid. You don't spend another second in there because they don't love their family enough. I only spend time with people that love their families enough. Okay? If they don't love their family enough, then why continue? But Alex, if I'm really nice to them, I know I'll close them. Oh my God, dude. Your job is not to be liked. Your job is to be respected. I didn't go in there because you don't pay the mortgage on people liking you. Okay? You're not there to feel good about yourself. You're there to make them feel bad about their situation, and then you make them feel good because you fixed it. Your job is not to be liked. I don't know where your self-image is. You got to read more books, man. Your job as a salesperson is not to be liked. Oh my gosh, come on. Get off that. Let's put you in therapy. Okay, let's put you in Alex Abian therapy, which is you're worthy, you're worth it. Okay, now stop that thinking. How about I like you? Okay, your dog likes you. Your wife and your children like you. Okay, can we stop there and not have to seek approval from your clients? Oh my gosh, dude. Are you a 3 on a scale of 10 self-image? We need to work on you. Your job is not to be liked, it's to be respected because you care enough about them to take care of them. And your job to take care of them is to manipulate the situation by asking them questions so they get what it is they want. They want to ultimately take care of their family. If they don't, I'm walking out of there. But Alex, don't you show them rates? No, because no rate, if I show them $1 a month, it's not going to make a difference because they don't have the pain big enough to take care of their families. Or there's something they're not telling me, right? There's something they're not telling me. So short of finding out what that is, because the only objection, the bad objection, is the one that they didn't tell you about that you weren't able to answer. So I'm folding up shop and I'm hightailing it out there to my next appointment. I'm not going to spend 1 second more with them because they don't love their family enough. I'm getting out of there. But Alex, you could make no, you're not going to make a sale. And if you do, they're going to cancel it. So don't be stupid, man. Get over yourself, all right? You still with me? How many people I still got on this call? Oh, 20. Okay, so I'm from contract, man. Get that down. Okay, so 2 questioning techniques. I just went through one of them is the reverse. So the reverse is based on answering a question with a softening statement. So they ask, well, this is the one, I love this one. Well, does this policy have one of those return of premium type options on it? Now in your mind, you should be weighing that. Number one, how do they know about return of premium, right? And why are they asking that? That should be going on your head. That's an interesting, this is a client of, they've obviously sat down with another agent. And so the inexperienced salesperson is going to say, oh, absolutely, this has a return of premium option. You'll get all your money back at the end of 10, 20 years, 30 years, whatever, and you'll have all your money back, and it's like you got your insurance for free. It's a forced savings program. It's so financially awesome. What a great thing. Yes, we do. They just set a trap for you because when you say that and you think you're all like, I'm all smart because we've got return of premium, they're going to tell you, oh, you're just like those 2 other agents. We couldn't afford that. Get out of our house, you slime bag salesperson. You're trying to make more money off us because of that return of premium thing, right? They laid a trap for you. I don't like traps. Questions that they ask are traps. In order to avoid a trap question, I always answer a question with a question, which is called the reversing technique. I always say, well, that's an interesting question. Why do you ask that question? Never answer a question unless you know why they're asking it. And the only way you know why is by asking them. That's a great question. Why would you be asking that question? Well, we had 2 agents come in here, and that price was like $200-300 a month, and it makes sense, but man, we can't afford it, and they just wouldn't back off. I mean, So we didn't, oh, yeah, I can't believe that. I heard that there's a lot of that going around right now. Do you see how I used the answer to their question to put me in a better light than those two other slime bag insurance agents that's trying to hoodwink them with one of those return of premium options? Oh man, I can't believe they did that. I heard there's a lot of that going around right now. Now we can give you what you're looking for. You're just looking for a term policy that'll just cover that period of time and, you know, be done with it. You know, get into an affordable monthly premium. Is that what you're looking for? See, do you know how I phrased that in a question? I didn't tell them, oh, so you're looking for something way cheaper. No, I want them to tell me, yeah, that's exactly what we're looking for. Oh, well, tell me more about that, of what you're looking for. Do you see, the reverse is asking a question with a question, softening statement, ask another question. You start drilling down, you start understanding why. That's called the reverse technique. Okay, let's talk about negative reverse. This is one of the most powerful, this is NLP-based too, this negative reversing technique. I know I'm going long, but I need to get this out because you need to learn this. You need to learn this. You need to learn this. You don't learn this, you are going to have a 40% closing rate in the home instead of 70%, and you will quit because you're not making money with us, right? This takes practice and this takes work. So the negative reverse. This is a mega Sandler sales system technique. The negative reverse. The negative reverse is based on the concept of the pendulum. Okay, this is a pendulum, right? This is the buy decision, and this is the think about it. Well, let's put it not buy. The not buy decision. Now, buy now, not buy now. Okay? And so most salespeople, rookie salespeople, think by doing features benefits selling, they could pull the client to the buy now position by telling them, oh, well, Forster's members benefits. Do you know that it has this member benefit where they'll take you to baseball games for free, they'll buy you a hot dog and a drink, and do you know about the other member benefit where they will help you do your budget, and they'll let you do a free will, and you can ask like legal advice, and it's just an awesome company. And you know what? They have got this great program where you don't have to do a blood and urine test, you get the product issued quick, and then blah, 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 blah. Okay. You're trying to pull them up the buy now by doing features and benefits selling. What happens when you move a client up is the momentum of the pendulum. If you physics people, you know, the physics people, this is the moment arm, and then you think you're pulling them up here, right? The problem with the momentum is it's going to go like this, which the force vector, I'm being totally nerdy. The force vector is pulling this pendulum the other way to not buy. So the more that you try to tell them all kinds of good things and you're telling, their momentum is not to believe you, thinking you're overhyping it, they don't trust you, and then they're going to not buy because you're trying to pull them to the buy position, okay? The best thing about, what I love about negative reversing is that you're not doing that. You're getting behind them. In other words, you're getting behind them by pulling them this way, by asking not buy questions, where then their momentum is to do this, okay? So let me give you a simple example. This is a simple example. And I've done this on my kids. My kids hate when I do this, but they know it works. So here's the deal. My son, I see him playing video games. This is when he was younger. I come home from the office, and in my mind, he should be doing his homework instead of playing video games. And I'll look at him and go, hey, Athen, hey, dude. Wow, you must not have any homework tomorrow. And then he like stops and looks at me. Because I'm sure you're getting all straight A's in all your classes, aren't you? And I don't answer the question. Well, Daddy, Well, I mean, you must not have any homework because I'm sure that, you don't have anything due tomorrow. You're probably getting A's in all your classes, right? That's all I have to ask him. I negative reverse the crap out of him because he shuts his video game player off and he goes, does his dadgum homework. Okay. I don't have to say anything. I'm not in there. I'm not an a-hole father saying, do your homework. Do you know that you got to get good grades to get into college? Okay, you can tell them that, or you can say, oh man, you must be getting A's in all your classes. Because when you get A's in all your classes, that means you have a chance to get into an awesome college for your future, and maybe you can get a scholarship where they'll pay for your entire 4 years there, which could be 200 grand. I mean, man. Now you can tell them all that, but they won't. It's like, right? So you're getting all A's? No. Oh, you must not have any homework. No. Man, I'm hitting them between the eyes with negative reversing. So how do I do this in the sales situation? Well, so this is kind of the classic thing. So Joe and Mary, take me back to when you filled this out. What was on your mind? Well, we want to make sure that we have this mortgage paid off for our kids. Oh, okay. Well, absolutely. That's great. We can help you with that. But let me ask you a question. I'm sure you have enough savings to be able to, at least keep the house going for a while, don't you? What do you mean? Well, I mean, do you have enough to maybe pay the house off or refinance or whatever out of your savings? No. Well, so tell me if you're not protected, we walk out of here and we don't get this in place, describe, Mary, what your situation is going to be. I'm sure, who's going to pay for the mortgage? I'm sure you have enough savings to be able to pay for the mortgage? No. Well, what, 6 months? Probably like 3 months. Oh, wow. Well, I'm sure that you can probably get help from your family to help pay your mortgage to keep you at least in here for a while. Oh, no, I'm no way. Okay, so how long do you think you'd stay in the house before the bank comes and forecloses on you? 6 months? 8 months? A year? I don't know. Okay, well, let's say that they foreclosed on you. Like, where would you go to take your kids? I mean, I'm sure your parents can take you in for a while, right? Do your kids go to a private school or do they go to a public school? Oh, private school. So I'm sure you still be able to keep them in their school once you move in with your family? Oh, we can't afford it. I mean, they'd have to go to public school? I tell you right after that question, man, it's like, no, we're going to buy this thing right now. Do you see what I'm doing? I'm manipulating them I'm going here, I'm pulling them this way, and they try to get up here as fast as they can because I'm negative reversing the crap out of them. Now, here's another way to practice negative reversing is like when you're in a restaurant, okay, and you're ordering dessert, you ask your server, so you wouldn't happen to have apple pie with ice cream, would you? Let me see. Wow. Is this your career, or do you have other aspirations beyond being a server here at this restaurant? I mean, it's funny. I actually will do this to Jenny. Oh, I don't do it to her anymore because she knows when I do it to her. So we're not having pizza tonight, are we? Because I love pizza. It's like asking her for dinner, but I'm negative reversing her. Power of negative reversing, man. This is the ultimate way to manipulate a client, to influence a client to move over this way. Here's the other thing about negative reversing is if they let you go here, that means they don't have pain. They don't want to buy because they don't have any reason to buy. So that's the power of negative reversing is one way or the other. But most clients will pull you to the buying part. I mean, there's some great videos on negative reversing. And man, I encourage you to learn this technique, because this technique will be responsible for you getting your closing rate up to 75%. So getting those questions done, bon rapport, doing the reverse and negative reverse, you become an expert at doing this, and you can always practice it. That's the thing about reversing, is you have to always practice it. So never answer a question without asking a question. Honey, you know, what do you think for dinner tonight? Do you want to go to J. Alexander's? I'll say, huh, that's a great question. Are you interested in going to J. Alexander's? I'll tell you what, man, this is so powerful. Anyway, I'm done. I didn't want this to go this long, but you know what? I had to, because you need to learn this. Oh my gosh, I've got a ton of videos on questioning techniques. I don't know, it goes into this detail. It's just other ways I've taught in the past. But you learn this, man, and this will be your key to moving on from where you are. Your frustration of not taking care of families because you don't ask enough questions. You never tell them stuff. Always turn telling them something into questions to guide them to where it is they want to go. They already want to take care of their families because they filled the farm out. All you're doing is clearing the path for them to make the right decision to take care of them. And if they're not wanting to go there, well, then they don't deserve to be your client. And you need to get out of there. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Do not think another thought about them because they don't love their families enough. And I don't need to waste my time, because remember, it's not about you seeking approval from your clients. It's about you getting approval from your family, because you are taking care of your family by taking care of other families, right? Remember, not everyone deserves to be your client, okay? So anyway, that is it. Rock on. Do more of this, and you'll be way more successful. All right, gang. God bless. Rock on.